Hey guys, Adam Kinney here with Boise Cascade Distribution here in Riverside, California. Today I'm going to do some product training on the Moso Bamboo. So I appreciate you being our distributor partner, and we're going to kind of dig into it. So the first thing is, why Moso Bamboo? What are the benefits of Moso Bamboo? So the huge part of Moso Bamboo is how stable it is. So they've actually taken it through a two-stage heating process. They call it thermodensity, and basically what it does is they cook out the food source and the sugars out of the product so you don't get any mold or mildew or product failures because of that. So it's come a long way from where it used to be when there was some negative publicity on it. So I'm going to show you a picture here just real quick that kind of explains it, not to bore you too much. So essentially this is kind of where it's at before it goes through that heat treatment process. And as you can see in the picture below it, the sugars, that food source, it's all gone. And that's what helps make it so stable. And that's where we get the decking product that we have here. The warranty on the Moso product is a 25-year warranty, and that's going to be against any manufacturing defects. And that's a straight 25, so it's not a prorated warranty where you have to worry about year 10, you're only going to get a certain percentage of that. That's going to be our competition's warranty. This is a straight 25 for both residential and commercial, so you have peace of mind even on those big commercial projects. So make sure when you're looking at products down the road, you're looking at the warranties, because there really can be some differences there. What we're going to get into now is we're going to talk about the installation benefits. There's a lot of benefits when it comes to installation on the Moso Bamboo. The biggest one that we try to talk about is the low clearance. So unlike other products, whether it's hardwoods or other manufactured products, you need to be a certain height off the ground. Usually it's 12 inches to 24 inches with airflow. So the bottom of that board can breathe if it gets rain and it's soaked. This board here can be 4 inches over soil, or it can be virtually right on top of concrete. So the application where you have a rooftop deck, this is perfect for that. Let's say you have a low-level jacuzzi that's sitting right on top of framing, just right on, 1.5 inches off the ground. This is going to be perfect for that. You're not going to see any warping or twisting because it can't breathe. You do still need to gap the deck board so it can breathe in there. So let me kind of show you here a little bit on what we're looking at. So on the decking itself, in this particular instance, this is 2.5 inches up, but if it's over soil, we want about 4 inches, just because dirt does hold in moisture. If it's over concrete, I would just say as long as the concrete is tapered so that the water can drain out in some fashion, you're going to be okay. So in this case here, what we're looking at is we're looking at a 1x6 deck board. You have your tongue over here, and if you swing over here, you're going to see there's the groove. So the groove there is going to allow the deck board to kind of come in and join, and then we can, in this case, obviously I'm just snapping it right in place. But if you look at the joint here, you're going to see I have a clip right in here. I call it a sister clip, and what that's going to do, when this small piece comes in, it doesn't even have to be a small piece. It could be a 6-foot piece that's going to keep extending out to finish the deck. But as we fasten this piece in here, I'm going to put, you call it a sister clip or a floating clip. I'm going to put a clip in right here where this full board is going to help support that joint. That way, as you go on your next row, you're going to have a full board coming through here. So what you get is you get a random joint look. And so the way I think about it is your hardwood flooring in your home, you have random joints throughout the house, except these are going to be 6-foot boards, not 2.5, 3-foot hardwood boards for your flooring inside. So you're going to get your random joint look here, which is, makes it really nice. Your waste factor goes way down because you can utilize your small cutoff boards for your next row and continue on. Now what we're looking at here is just some boards that I had kind of pre-stained a while ago, so they're a little darker than what the unfinished boards that you're going to see in the marketplace in Southern California. So along with this 6-inch deck board, we have a 7-inch. So this one here is going to be 7 inches width. It's going to have that fluted backside, so you can use the smooth face, which typically we do here in the States, or you can flip it over for a design aspect and you can use this fluted side. The 6-inch board that most of you are familiar with is obviously going to have that as well. The other thing that the 6-inch board will have is it actually comes in 2 profiles. This one here you're going to see with a double groove on both sides. That way you can utilize the Moso X-treme clip, which we have right here. The other one is going to be a board that is only grooved on one side. That way if you have a stair tread or something like that where you don't want that exposed, you have that option. And the 7-inch, at this time, you'd either just rip off that edge to get that exposed one, or you can utilize the 6-inch one with the single groove. The other deck board that we're going to have is a 2x6, and I say a deck board, but it's really in these days more of a commercial type board. So if it's maybe a park bench in an industrial building, some sort of facade on the building, that's what this is going to be, or whatever purpose you might have for it. It's going to be a net 6-inch face. We call it our S4S lumber, and you're going to end up having to face screw this particular board because it's not going to come grooved. But that's our 2x6. We also have, as a trim option, we have fascia. So this right here is our 1x12 fascia, and then we have a 1x8 fascia board. And these are actually net widths, which we're not really used to these days. So that's a net 12-inch face and a net 8-inch face right there. So I've had some people that want to rip these down to narrower widths and use them for different purposes. That's totally fine. Just keep in mind, anything Moso Bamboo is going to be 6 foot. Everything. So that's your decking, that's your fascia, that's your siding when we get into siding. Everything's going to be 6 foot. But remember, in the decking, that's why we have that tongue and groove in matching, which allows you to use those small boards and float over the joists. So I don't think I really got into that. So if you have your joists on 16-inch centers, which is, normal for a deck, this, in today's world, this joint here can float, which means it does this joint. So as I connect that in there, this joint does not need to land on a support whatsoever. This can float. As long as you're on a 16-inch center, this joint could even be right in the middle. So it's coming off 8 inches and 8 inches, which means you can just literally lay those boards out, connect them, and then do your next row. So you can float this joint. That's a huge benefit to that. Okay, another huge benefit to the Moso Bamboo is going to be the fact that you don't have to anchor seal your end cuts. So with just about every single hardwood on the market, including another one that we distribute, when you make a field cut, you actually have to take your anchor seal product or your Ipe seal or whatever the name of your particular end wax is, and you have to coat the ends of the boards. So if I were to cut this, which this is obviously already cut, because of all the phenolic resin that's in here, and let's get into that. This is actually 90% bamboo, 10% phenolic resin. So that's actually what's in here. Because of all that, you actually don't have to in-wax these boards at all. That's one step the contractor or the homeowner does not need to worry about. So make all the field cuts you want, make sure you have a fresh blade, but you do not have to coat the end of this whatsoever. Another thing that's huge is sealing it. And we'll get into more of it later, but essentially up front, with a lot of the hardwoods in the market, a traditional real hardwood, if you're going to seal it, you have to seal it all 4 sides to make sure that the top will dry out at a semi-similar rate as the bottom. This one here, you can just stain the top or seal the top, and you don't have to worry about the bottom at all. So, or you don't have to even put a finish on it whatsoever. So, 2 steps that eliminate time when you're using a competing product or another product. So that's huge. What we'll get into now then is the fastening. So we briefly talked about already the Moso X-treme clip. I showed you how we use kind of what I call the sister clip or a floating clip right here. So that's this clip right here. So all your boxes here cover 50 square feet. It's a stainless steel clip that screws down at a 90-degree angle, and it covers 50 square feet. Most of you probably have these in stock, but if you're special ordering your decking from us, you can order it by the box or by the case, whichever suits the project for you or your stocking needs. And so hopefully 90% of the deck, maybe 95% of the deck, you are using that clip. That way you're not actually having to penetrate the face of the material and scuff it up. If you do need to, however, there's going to be circumstances where you do need to put a screw in the top of the board. Maybe it's your last edge against the house, maybe it's a stair tread, and you do have to do some face screws. So what we have available from the manufacturer we carry called Starborn, this is their Pro Plug series. Just to give you kind of a picture of it, that's this right here. So it's your Pro Plug system. We actually carry it for multiple species of material. We're going to obviously focus on the bamboo plugs right now. So you would use your Pro Plug tool itself, and you actually drill a hole. And I kind of already started a process just so you could see it. So if you come and look right here, I use just a normal number 10, not a normal number 10, but a number 10 stainless steel head coat screw right here with the brown head. And then I've already used this bit right here, and I've pre-drilled through here, and I've already put that stainless steel screw in. So the next step would be to put a dab of glue in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a plug, and I've already got a plug out. What you want to do is you want to make sure the grain of the plug is going the same direction as the board itself. You're going to put that in there, and then what I do is I take a sample piece so that I'm not, messing up the plug itself, and I'm going to hammer this down. And I'm going to do this on my desk because it's going to make this whole table lift up. So let me do that real quick so you can see it. So I'm going to take this sample piece, whatever sample piece you have, I'm going to put it right over there. And there you have it. It's right on the surface. And actually, that one didn't go down that far, so let's do that one more time. There you go. Nice and smooth right there. So that's your plug itself. So you can do that anywhere you need to. And then obviously your other option is that face screw. So that's your Pro Plug system here. So we have this available in a handy pack. So if it's a real small job you have, there's a 100 square foot pack and a 300 square foot pack. And that's what we stock on the ground for you guys in that. So that's going to come with your the plugs themselves. This happens to be the bamboo plug. It's going to come with the stainless steel screws, and it's going to come with the glue nozzle, which I just don't happen to have in the one I have here at home. So that's for everywhere you want to use that screw and that plug to hide it. If you have an area where you don't have the time to do that plug, we do have our number 10 brown stainless steel screw, which I did show you on that little sample piece right there. You want to use a smart bit for that application and pre-drill. In this case, it would be a number 10 smart bit. This just happens to be a number 8 because that's all I had. But you definitely want to pre-drill for that. That way you get a nice clean finish as that screw goes in the board. That's kind of it for the fastening methods on this. I think as far as profiles, I want to go over a few more things before we transition into the siding product. And we talked about the 2x6 decking already. One thing I haven't talked about yet is our tongue and groove fence board. At least we're labeling as a fence board here. This is the only board that we'll still have that has a pre-finish on it. Everything else will be unfinished. But this is going to be tongue and groove the length of the board. So once again, everything Moso is 6 foot. So that length of the board, you're going to have your tongue and groove. It won't have your in match that we showed you on here. It's just going to be a square cut. So you would literally install this either in between a fence channel. You could face screw it to a post. It's up to you. And literally your next board is just going to stack. They're just going to stack on top of each other horizontally, or you can run them vertically and just do the same thing. It could be a nice high-end fence for a customer or whatever application you'd like to use this for. So that's our tongue and groove fence board that we have available. So now we're going to get into our siding board. And so that's what we're looking at right here. So this, I've kind of done a mock-up so you can see how this looks even by mixing both profiles. So we have a standard 6-inch siding profile, which is this right here. And then we have a 7-inch, which is the same thing, but just has more face exposure for you. So you can mix the two to get kind of a nice fancy look, if you will, or you can do all one kind, that's fine. As you can see right here, I tried to imitate this being your plywood on your home, your underlayment on your home. What you'd want to do is install furring strips on the wall. That way the board is actually off the wall after installation. That's what creates that rain screen. And then I would do kind of your house wrap or your paper over that furring strip. That way you don't get a moisture transfer. And then what you're going to do, if you try to look down here, you're going to see that I screwed the first set of clips on that furring strip in the bottom row. It just remember, 90-degree angle, I just screwed that clip right in, and this just sets right in there. And then I just repeated that process over the furring strips. You can see that clip right there. And I worked my way up right here, and then you can see this top row here. I showed you how that joint's going to look. And remember, you will have joints. They're 6-foot boards. But like the decking, if you look right here, you're going to see there's also a tongue and a groove right there. So you can join those boards together. And just like I used that floating clip on the decking, I have a clip right here at the base to support that joint itself. And then you're just going to keep working your way up. You can do miter cuts. If your building's making a corner, don't worry about that stuff. It'll handle that just fine. So essentially that's your siding. And more importantly, on the clip itself, our message to make things easy is one clip for all. So this clip right here that I showed you on the siding, that's the exact same clip for the decking. So, you got, that way you don't have to worry about inventory in two different types of clips. You know how to use this one. It's going to be the same thing over here. That's your 20 millimeter Moso clip. So that's your decking and your siding clip. So we just really wanted to make things simple for you. Okay, so now we're going to talk about why is Moso Bamboo unfinished? Why did you get away from having that finished board that you used to distribute? So I do want to talk about it. So as you can see, just like this over here, the Moso Bamboo that's in the marketplace right now is now unfinished. Okay, so the thought process behind having that finished board, which is what we used to distribute, was great. The thought was great. You're going to sell your customer a finished product. They don't have to worry about oiling it. They're initially protected. They're good to go. The issue is, and unfortunately we saw this more times than we didn't, and that's customers don't wait long enough for that initial finish that came with it to burn off. So they apply another oil or product on top of what was already there, and then they sometimes get mold and mildew or peeling or discoloration. And it wasn't worth it. We just ended up having too many issues with that, at least out here in Southern California. So we made the decision to change. And so all of our boards now are unfinished, except for that tongue and groove fence board that I showed you a little bit ago. So the benefit to this is the customer can get it. They can let it weather out to that silvery gray color, let the bamboo strands just pop, and then they can put a professional oil or acrylic or whatever they want on it and maintain it that way, and it can be lighter. Or if they want a darker board, as soon as they get it installed, they can put that finish on it and it'll be nice and dark for them. Like with any product, if you can give it the 7 to 10 day acclimation time, that's great. It's not the end of the world if you don't. But that's kind of why we got away from the unfinished, and that's why we're promoting that. We think it's just better all around for you, the salesperson, or the contractor, or the homeowner. We just think it's the better way to go. So I guess to end with, a couple key points to remember, and for me these are huge. We have the low clearance. I mean, that's the huge benefit of the Moso Bamboo. You can install those decks where that homeowner wants it right on the ground, coming out of their doorway or their jacuzzi or their rooftop deck, whatever it is. Huge benefit right there, and you don't have to worry about having that airflow that you need to have with other hardwoods and products. So the low level clearance is huge. Secondly, the steps that you don't have to worry about now, you don't have to anchor seal or wax your field cuts. You don't have to worry about sealing it all four sides. If you're going to seal it, you can just let it weather and it's not going to affect your warranty. The warranty itself, 25 years. It's not a prorated deal. You have 25 years coverage against any manufacturing defects. So that's huge. And that same 25 year for commercial applications. So you got peace of mind for those big projects. I guess I'm probably forgetting stuff. Moso Bamboo, 6 foot, everything is 6 foot. That's it. Thank you for being our partner. Thank you for watching this. I hope you learned something. I know a lot of us are stuck in the office a lot of times, so this is a way for us all to kind of recap the benefits of Moso Bamboo. Go out and sell a decking or siding project and give us a call. Email me please if you have any questions. AdamKenney@bc.com. That's Adam, Kenney @bc.com. Thank you so much.